Alright, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to more Danganronpa 3 episode reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 3 of the Despair arc. I love this episode. Literally, it was really, really good. A lot of character development for Hajime, mainly. And, a lot of story progression. So, this episode mainly focused on the Twilight Syndrome murder case from Danganronpa 2, which if you don't know, that's okay, we're going into it in this review. However, I do recommend you play or watch Danganronpa 1 and 2 before you see this review. Sorry, I heard my phone ring. I'm like, who's that? It messed me up. Crap, now I completely forgot what I was going to say. Anyways, so let's get on to this summary. So basically, it shows the flashback of Kuzuryu's sister, which I missed this last time I reviewed it, but she came into the class and she basically said, "Why am I being thrown into the trash into this classroom with hold on. Why am I being thrown into this classroom while all of you are trash while I'm like the greatest?" And it's like, "No, you're not. You're just entitled." And so Hanjime's sitting there eating an ice cream sandwich, which how on earth did he get an ice cream sandwich? Like, how did it not melt? I'm confused. Where did you get that? Did you purchase it? Like, I, I wish I could have ice cream sandwiches at school. That's against, like, the food code, or I don't know, whatever it's called. It just makes me mad. It's like, really? Really? How are you allowed to have ice cream sandwiches? It's not fair. It's not. It's not. Anyways, and Kuzuryu's sister, I don't know her name, so I'm just going to call her Kuzuryu for this thing. And I'll call her brother Fuyuhiko, because that's his first name. So, basically, she's talking to Hajime, and she's like, "You're looking at that building a lot. I assume you'd like to go there no matter what." And he's like, "Yeah." And, well, actually, he was thinking 7 days left until I have to decide, blah, 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 about the Izuru project. And then she's like, "I bet you if someone was kicked out of the main course, I would take their place as the super high school level little sister." Okay. How? How do you become the ultimate sister? That doesn't make sense to me. "Oh yeah, I'm the best sister of all time. Look at me." Like, how? How do you just like spoil your brother? Like, I don't understand. Like, how? How do you become the ultimate sister? Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm confused by it. It makes no sense, and it makes no sense. Like, I'm confused by that. How do you? Oh god, I don't even know. And she's like, especially if a certain red-haired person, she's talking about Mahiru, got kicked out or something along those lines. And then, Sato, I think her name is, it's like, "Don't say bad stuff about Mahiru." And then Hajime's like, "Wait, do you know each other?" And then she's like, "Oh yeah, from the photography, the photography club back in middle school." And then, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. I'm having a hard time remembering what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So, uh, Sato basically says, "Mahiru is the ultimate photographer, so you have no talent of getting in that way." And she's like, "Well, I don't care. I'm going to get her." And anyways, and then Mahiru just breaks up the fight, and then they leave. And then Hajime is playing games. Wait, no. Is that after or before? No, that's before. So Hajime is playing games with Chiaki, and he keeps on losing, and sorry, my mind is in a lot of places right now. Forgive me for being kind of slow with this. So Hajime is playing the game, and he loses against Chiaki, and he's like, "Oh man, you beat me again." And Hajime, this is the typical Japanese thing where, like, if you're angry, you like I don't know how to describe it, like, you like blow up your cheeks to show that you're angry. I don't know why. It's not something I know. Like, but it's been a lot of animes, so I just assume that's like a stereotypical thing. He's like, that's because you weren't even, like, focusing on it. So it's like, what's wrong? And he basically just says, Chiaki, if you weren't the ultimate gamer, and if you played with someone who is better than you at every game you play, would you still think it'd be fun? She's like, well, I think it'd be fun in its own ways. I mean, you're creating memories that way, so that's already fun. And besides, talent isn't everything. Uh, you can always have hope, no matter what talent you have. So even if you don't have a talent, you can always have hope. And then he's like, yeah, I can always have hope. And then she's like, alright, let's keep on playing. He's like, no, let's not play this game. It's boring. Let's switch to another game. She's like, no, we're playing this, and then we're going to play co-op. And he's like, okay. That was actually, like, my favorite part of the episode. Well, besides the end, but we're not there yet. So, then after that, he goes in and he sees Sato and Kuzurayu are arguing again. Actually, no, before that, Fuyuhiko and Peko are talking. And they're like, oh crap, like my sister's in, like she's gonna do something terrible to try and get into this, so I don't know what to do. I'll have to talk to Dad or something. And Peko is like, do you want me to go check her out? And he's like, no, didn't I tell you you are not our hitman anymore? We don't know each other because of this school. Just, yeah. And then she's like, what? Okay, but, and then Ibuki comes in and he's like, what? You two are talking? That's never happened before. And then they just leave each other and he's like, buzz off. So then Hajime sees them both fighting. He breaks them up. And Sato's like, she's going to do something terrible to Mahiru, so I have to do something first. And Kuzurayu is like, or Hajime follows Kuzurayu. And sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's been a while since I've seen Danganronpa 2. So he follows her, and he's like, you didn't mean what you said back there, because she's like, I'm going to kill you or something. And she's like, no, I will do whatever it takes to get into Hope Speak Academy main course. And then she starts crying. She's like, I was left behind by my big brother so many times. I just want to catch up to him and stand by his side. And he's like, I know what you mean, but talent isn't everything. That's what a friend told me. And she's like, what are you talking about? Talent is everything. If you don't have talent, you don't deserve to stand with my brother. And then he's like, you don't have talent, you don't deserve to stand with the elites. So then, the next day, Kuzurayu is murdered, blah, blah, blah. And then, the next couple days after that, it looks like Sato is the one who murdered her. Then after that, Sato was murdered. And I believe Sato murdered Kuzurayu, and then Fuyuhiko murdered Sato to get revenge on his sister. I believe that's how it was in Danganronpa 2, but I don't remember. So I think that's it. So then Hajime tries to go on the main course to talk to Mahiru, and then you see that Sakura is the leader of the police team there. He's like, no, you can't go on the main course, you're a reserve course student. And then they kind of get angry at each other, and they get into a bit of a fight, and they're talking about, like, whether talent matters or not, and they're arguing, and he's like, talent doesn't matter. You can live life without having talent. He's like, well said. You can benefit the talentful with your talentlessness and be steps for them, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, whatever. And then he leaves. And then Hajime leaves thanks to Yuzome, like, almost blocking the punch. And then he leaves, and so they talk about it, and they're like, yes, Hope Street Academy did lie about the murder, but whatever. They talk about that a little bit, and they're like, you shouldn't have punched him. Next time, don't beat on a kid who doesn't know anything. And he's like, okay. So then Chiaki's waiting for Hajime, and then when Hajime gets there, she's like, a new game came out, we should play it. And he just shakes his head, and he's like, sorry, I have something important to do. And then she's like, Hajime, I'm sorry. He just kind of looks back confused, and then she's like, it's nothing. And he's like, Chiaki, are you making memories? And she's like, I guess. And then he's like, okay, that's all that matters. You have a lot more redeeming qualities than just the gaming. And he's like, alright, see you tomorrow. And then, or no, he said see you later, and then she says see you tomorrow. And then he goes to the Project Izuru thing, and he's like, I will become everyone's hope. He's like, no, Sakakura, you caused a tiny bit of the end of the world. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe. Peace out.